A couple of years ago, my husband and I built a 300 square foot home, and since then have moved it onto our property. Now that we have been living in our home for nearly a year, there are some spaces that I want to give a refresh. This week, I'm going to be doing some updates to our 63 square foot living room as I transform our tiny house into a cozy cottage, one DIY at a time. Welcome back to an episode of Home Diaries, where I am going to be doing a refresh on our living room. My goals for this space are I really want to make it cozier, a lot more comfortable, a lot more cozy, and incorporate some character. So we need some decor, we need some texture, some color, and I really want to decorate the space, redo it, and make it a bit more cozy cottage. Style that I really love, I feel like it's a mix between Scandinavian cottage with bits of eclectic and pops of color, some vintage pieces. So this is kind of the mood board for the space, and I really want to create some kind of cohesive design that's going to flow well into the rest of the home as well, because the living room is very open concept with the rest of the tiny home. It's a very small space. So I want to make it all work together. That is the goal. Let's get rolling. Right now it's obviously a mess because I'm doing things and moved everything around, but this is the couch. That's like the only piece of color in here. And then we just have blank walls, the fireplace slash built-in behind here that I think I'm gonna pull out, and I wanna do something different there. And then there's like this nook that sometimes can be hard to figure out what to do because our walkway is up above here, and that is a living room. So here's what I'm thinking. First up, West Coast Walls sent this beautiful vintage style wallpaper for the living room, and I have already started. I did a couple of test strips installing this, so I'll show you that. But yeah, I really loved this pattern. I wanted originally, actually I got this for the bedroom. I feel like it'll still be calm enough to flow into the kitchen and the rest of the space. I feel like a little bit risky to put stripes all over the wall in the living room in a tiny house. And this one I ended up going with the peel and stick just because I wasn't sure how it was going to work in the space and if it would be like a permanent long-term solution. So I love that this is a peel and stick. The concept is easy to install. I will say this space makes it really hard to wallpaper just because the windows, like they're not very tall ceilings, and it's broken up by so many angles and corners, and it's just such a small space. So it's mostly corners. So anytime you're installing wallpaper with just corners, it's tricky. So, and I'm not a professional by any means. I'm taking my sweet time, but we're getting there, and it's nice they have little wheels at the bottom. So like panel 1, and it tells you where to install it. So that is all super great. It's been easy to come together. It just takes a while with all of the nooks and crannies, but okay, well, I know it probably looks like it's been like 2 minutes, but in reality, it's been like 3 or 4 hours. And I've gotten this cubby done. I think I have figured out, like, I'm getting in a groove. It's going better, but I have some like baking ASMR with like Great British Baking Show background music. So it's quite relaxing seeing the wallpaper go up. Highly recommend a little fall baking ASMR while doing wallpaper. And also for anyone who is interested in checking out this wallpaper, I will leave a link in the description. Making sure everything is level has been the biggest challenge, but thankfully the pattern is stripes. So I've been able to just like line the level up with the stripes, and that's worked pretty well. Flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this. And in case you were wondering, this is the state of the rest of the house. It's not that it's so much stuff, it's just so small, but it's coming together. Okay, 8.5 hours later, we're all done. Definitely took so long because there are just so many corners in here. Okay, but that is gonna be all for today. I need to make some dinner and clean up the house. Doing this makeover feels super timely for fall because it's gonna be so cozy just to like cuddle up on a new couch and get a new rug, just all the cozy elements perfect for fall. Not to be cheesy, but you know what also comes along with fall is cold season. And I genuinely only like using products that are super clean ingredients, usually food-based. So I love that Clear has a nasal spray that is a saline nasal spray with only food-based ingredients. This one literally has just purified water, xylitol, salt, and grapefruit seed extract. Those are all things in the past that I have used during cold season. So I love that Clear has a simple formula that is super natural and clean for alleviating nasal congestion, whether it's from allergies or cold season. This formula also contains xylitol, which helps in like moisturizing your nasal passage so it doesn't dry it out after use. This formula is gentle enough to use with small children and babies, and it washes away pollen and dust in the nasal passage. It's safe for daily use or anytime, and also for pregnant or nursing mothers. Thank you for letting me tell you about today's sponsor. I love partnering with brands who make great quality products and things I use. If you want to check this out for you or your family for this cold season, I will leave a link in the description. Let's finish this makeover. I have a couch arriving, a rug. Let's pull it together. Okay, it is a new day and I have been doing some problem solving. So I got the wallpaper up and I love it, but something about it in this room is huing a bit purple. And I think that's what's throwing me off. Like it's really huing purple with, I don't know if it's because it's such a small space or the angle of our home. I have noticed that certain times of day it will shift and it will look more gray. Like, because when I look at it up close, I'm like, it's very clearly gray. But something about it in the room, it's just huing purple. So with that said, once I got it up, I was like, I need to do something. I need to do something different. So I'm pivoting from my original plan. I'll show you a photo of my original plan. I can't remember if I already popped this on the screen or not yet, but the original plan was to kind of do the couch here because that's where I wanted it. Like originally I have moved it, I'm gonna put this down. I have moved the couch from here to then there to now here. It works good in here. Like practically you'd think this is what makes the most sense, but I like to lay down on the couch. Like I wanna be like, lounging and my feet can't hang off whenever I am in here because it's just too small of a space. So that's why I moved it to the center. Also, whenever we would have people over, like it was awkward sitting here because there's this little wall here. So it would block anyone sitting on the couch to be able to talk to people. So yeah, those were the two things that I really didn't like about it being in this corner. So then I loved having it in the center for those two reasons. Like I could hang off and I could visit with people. But the downside was I actually gave away the back and the ends of the couch because I figured I'll never use these again. And I had the thought, I probably shouldn't do that because I like to change things, and I did not listen to myself. For now, I'm just putting it here because this makes the most sense. There's no back to the couch. It'll be supported and I can still visit and hang my toes off. Okay, now that I've explained all of that, here's what I want to do now. So this is the new plan B. So I've started gathering some things to try and test out in here and see if I can get that kind of look. I want it open, but I want a good blend of like coziness and openness, if that makes sense. Anyway, that is my goal. I did get a new rug. I have tried rugs in the past though, and I just didn't like how they looked. Just because this room flows into the kitchen, I felt like it just felt chaotic. But I have hope because with this couch configuration, I just feel like it could feel more intentional. So that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. This is a beautiful wool hand knit rug. This is from the Threshold line at Target. I got the 5x7s. I don't know if I can really tell with this lumpy couch situation and everything else. I feel like it's kind of scary right now. Okay, well, I do feel like this is better than when I had a rug in here originally because the couch kind of centers it or like grounds it with it being on this wall, but it still is feeling not right. So I'm gonna keep messing with things, brainstorm some more, and then figure out what to do next. Today, a very exciting package just arrived, so I cannot wait to bring it in and see how it really changes this space, because here's the update. Right now, we have the wallpaper in, the rug, But I am having a little bit of trouble with the wallpaper sticking, so I'll show you what has happened. I installed it and then I went away for the weekend and this section started peeling off the wall, and I'm not sure why. I contacted the company and they said this has never happened, so that at least makes me feel good. They were super helpful, gave me some tips to troubleshoot it, so I think I'm gonna try using a hairdryer to help it adhere. So I'll probably need to get another panel of wallpaper to replace that one since this one is all crinkled. So pausing on wallpaper right now, but I want to bring in the couch. Finally, I'm going to be able to lay down on the couch. I literally slept on this one last night and it's definitely not long enough, so I was curled up in a little ball, and I'll be so happy to have another couch in here. This one I am super stoked about because it is modular, so I got one that has several different pieces so I could really mix and match and see what configuration works best in here. So I'm going to start by putting that together. I really want to see how it looks in here. Okay, this is honestly the trickiest part. It was so easy to put together, except this part is really hard to do with a one-man show. This couch is made with a performance fabric, so it's super pet friendly, kid friendly. All of the cushions have removable covers that are washable, and it has a lovely linen-like texture. Now that I have the couch in here, I feel like I can really fine tune what I want to do in here. So now that I'm seeing it, it is a bit longer than I thought, I think, or maybe it's just like how the armrest is so high. It makes it feel a bit more closed off versus like a low armrest would help it to flow better. So I think I want to shift the couch this way and see how it looks, the couch and the rug, and we'll see if that is a better fit. I don't know, we'll mess with it. Okay, what do we think? I don't know, I feel like it's awkward with it being cut off halfway. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll bring in the ottoman and then see what I want to do from there. I ended up configuring the ottoman as part of the couch. I love that with this Delaney 5-piece sectional, you can mix and match the pieces to create just the right fit for your space. And for our tiny house, configuring this with the ottomans is actually the perfect fit. It adds extra storage, which is so perfect for a tiny house, and it is still super comfortable. So I'm super happy with this setup. I'm so glad I ended up going with a 5-piece sectional, because this way I can mix and match the different pieces to create the perfect couch and sitting area for our small living room. Also, as a side note, my mic totally died while I was filming this, which is why I am now doing a voiceover while me talking double speed on the camera. It is a new day and I finally figured out the couch configuration. It feels very cozy in here and so comfortable. So I'll show you that in a minute, but first I want to put up some art to really frame it out. So I have a couple of options that I've just been storing up, and we'll see if any of these work. So I ended up just getting some prints and printed them off at Walgreens, and these are just a bunch of frames that I thrifted or have been collecting. So I'm kind of torn between, I'd like to do a couple of prints, but I'm not quite sure on the configuration. I'm kind of thinking I really like this one and the detail on the edge. I also had some other ones. I just feel like they're the wrong scale. I really like the frame of this one. This one was $4.99 at Goodwill, and then also have some littler options too. The new rug arrived. I definitely love that it's a bit more muted tones. It's a little bit more calm than the last rug, so I feel like it's gonna just blend well with the rest of the space and not be too bold. I also ended up switching out these prints because something just didn't feel right. Sometimes it's just the smallest changes. There are definitely a lot more updates that I want to make in this space, but for now, this is a good pausing point. I'm going to wait for a couple more things to arrive, and until then, I'm just putting in some items that I already had around the home. Even though this space has a long way to go to be completed, it is so much more cozy, comfortable, and practical than what it was looking like just a few days ago. Living in such a tiny space, you really do notice the smallest changes, and although this isn't a huge transformation, it has made a big impact for us living in this space. We have already had so many friends stay overnight on the couch, and it's been a much better space for hosting. I'm continuing to work on finishing this space, but I'm also starting in on some projects in the kitchen, so both of those updates will be coming soon.